Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. I was doing great, and then I saw the Jalen Ramsey traded to the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins. And when I heard that it was for a third-round draft pick, and I'm not saying that Jalen Ramsey was the perfect guy for us, but this just brought back memories. How you doing, Isaac? Mike, too broke to pay attention, and Armando. It just brought back what typically happens where Jerry Jones and crew go on vacation the first couple weeks of free agency. And there are players out there to be had. And we keep getting fed this crap, we're being thrown under the bus where we can't sign players because, you're paying a premium for your quarterback. And that's some bullshit. I sit here and look at what the Miami Dolphins have done firepower-wise to help their quarterback, going out and getting the cheetah. They end up getting Bradley Chubb. They got Jalen Waddle. They end up going out now and getting Jalen Ramsey. Don't give me this shit that we can't do anything. Not when our moves last year were James Washington, Ryan Null, and Dante Fowler. That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit there. All right, so let me bring into the house here. I got my man Michael Martinez as well as Thomas Garrett in the house here as we get started here, and I'm sure some more of you upset fans will be there. What's up, Brian SoCal? What's going on, man? Brian, I need to talk to you too about some more artwork that we need to purchase from you, my man. James Snyder, how are you doing? How you doing, Thomas?
I'm doing all right.
You doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just all right, not supercalifragilistic expialidocious.
I'm just chilling.
Okay, Michael, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Mark. Just enjoying the weather out here. This crazy weather that we're having.
Well, that depends on. We had snow falling out here. It's too warm for it to stick, but it'd been 70 degrees there like a week ago, and we get snow today. I just can't figure this stuff out, man. Makes you feel like the world is coming to an end at some point. But the more things change, the more things do not change, because Jerry Jones has been talking shit about, if there's moves out there that we deem that can help the team, if it's just a matter of writing a check, there's no check too big that I wouldn't write for anybody. And here it is. You see Pro Bowl cornerbacks going for third-round draft picks.
Mm-hmm. Mark, I heard that D-Hop, I heard that St. Louis has dropped it from a second to a third now.
Mm-hmm. Say that again? That they've dropped to a third for Hopkins?
Yep, I heard it went from a 2 to a 3 now.
Okay. Well, I mean, Jalen Ramsey for a third, I mean, I know that they're talking about he's going to want a new contract and stuff, but still, one of the things I look at is, I'll give up a draft pick or I'll give up money. I don't want to give up both.
Oh, and then plus, I don't know if you saw this, but about an hour ago, the Commanders signed Daron Payne in
4 years, $90 million.
Yep. Second largest contract in NFL history behind Aaron Donald.
Mm-hmm. For defensive lineman. Yep. Yeah, well, other teams are trying to make some plays. But now I'll say this much as far as Ramsey. See, for me, I am still kind of old school where I believe that the defense is built from the lines out. To me, if we're talking about, Jalen Ramsey's going to want $25 million, I'd rather spend that $25 million on my defensive line and get a defensive line that stops the run and puts pressure on the quarterback so my defensive backfield doesn't necessarily have to be as great. You think about where the Giants were before. You probably can't name any of their Super Bowl winning defensive backs. They weren't Hall of Famers, but that defensive front was. And that's where you have to look at this and say, one of the areas the Cowboys never pay attention to, never, invest a lot of resources is with the defensive line. And I would rather see him, if they go out and get Bobby Wagner and get me a really good defense tackle, I'm good. I won't be mad. As long as there's a plan to do something. If the whole thing is we're going to let the dust clear, we're going to let all the good players go through, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to get a couple of guys, that maybe have a name but are past their prime and can't do shit. Well, shit. Then I'm pissed still. James Nooks, what's up, man?
What's going on?
I'm in my emotions right now. I'm in my emotions at the moment, dealing with are we about to have the usual Dallas Cowboys off season where they're just going to go on vacation. Now, again, this is just the first big move that's happened, okay? Now, we're hearing that the Buccaneers are interested in Baker Mayfield, which will be interesting. Anybody's thoughts? Or what would you like to see happen this week? Would you like to see any? Because we haven't even really worked on any of our own guys that we supposedly believe in. We haven't, Van Der Esch, Donovan Wilson, those kind of guys. We're just kind of letting them hit free agency. The only person we have actually signed right now are Terrence Steele, because he's a restricted free agent, and Tony Pollard. Everybody else right now is a free agent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we need to get one of these top players. We do. We need to make a splash somewhere between now and end of this week.
Glimmerman says, we will field a good team, Mark. What's up? Game Time Brian. What's up, Game Time? I see you're muted there. And we got Marley Greens. Marley Green, we ain't seen you in a while, man. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Brian, what do you think, man? You okay with Jalen Ramsey going for a 3rd-round pick?
Yeah. It's Miami is putting together a squad.
Miami, it's amazing how other teams can find money to do stuff.
Well, listen, they only Dallas only scratched the surface on how they can create money.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I mean? Like we talked about it, literally scratch the
Your
surface.
mic is doing something funny.
Let me fix it then.
Okay. Miami is doing a lot of stuff for the last couple of years. They have been making moves left and right. Now, that's not to say, let's be clear. We've seen some moves that blow up in teams' faces. Washington typically has been one of the capitals in free agency breakdowns. When you look at the Albert Hainsworths and the even prime time, past his prime, and, a lot of players that, came in just to get paid. We've seen a lot of the Giants, wide receivers, Galladay. Galladay, get a big ass contract and not bust a grape and stuff. So it's not always, gold. The Eagles, unfortunately, were perfect with just about everybody, every move they made, with the exception of defensive end from Chicago that we had. His name escapes me. Yeah, Robert Quinn. He's about the only move that they made that didn't work out. I would almost say that in retrospect, you could take all the moves that were successful by the Eagles and put them against the rest of the league. That, with how the success that the other teams had in general with all their free agents. I've never seen anybody hit so well on free agents, but they just seem to be able to do it. What's up, Stacy? How are you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
Spare None says we need a wide receiver. You ain't lying on that one, bro. Jerry Jones has checked out for now. Mike says, no town Cowboys, they will. So I don't know. I don't know what to think. I mean, again, it's just the first one, but tomorrow, or should I say midnight, shit gets for real. There's Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, Joanne? And of course, Gina Dallas Diva. What's up? Okay. Am I being too emotional right now? Should I just be cool?
No.
I'm not surprised.
No,
I
Mark.
mean, I'm immune to it. I mean, every year Catboy does this stuff. I mean,
Yep.
nothing's gonna change no matter what we do. I mean, it don't matter what we think. It's
Mm-hmm.
unless a ghost of Christmas future or something comes and haunts him or tells him he needs to sign somebody, but that ain't gonna happen because he's full of himself and he thinks he knows everything.
You ain't lying on that one.
They ought to put Stephen Jones in a straitjacket and tape his mouth shut and put him in the loony bin.
Well, I'm just curious that if this was just one of those ones, now it may be that teams just don't want to trade with the Cowboys too. Now,
No.
No, I'm just listening
My
to
better
that.
people.
I'm just saying, do we know for sure that the Cowboys even knew that there was negotiation or that it could have been that low? I'm trying to toss him a bone here and give him the benefit of the doubt. To me, if
It
you're
was that low because he's going to want big money. They're going to redo his deal.
True.
So, that's the one thing I'm hearing about Hopkins is that he's willing to play for what he has, even restructure to help the team, which may be more, maybe more what the Cowboys are looking for.
I agree with that one because that's what you've heard, that he's already looking for a new contract, and that right now the Rams are basically on wholesale. What is the problem? What is the problem? Leroy, come on up here. Come here. Daggone. Okay. Damn. I don't have grandkids. I got granddogs. Okay. All right. So my daughter's dogs both of them are here, and they don't get along. Anyway, I agree with you on that one. That I could see Jalen Ramsey passing on that one. It's just when you just see her a 3rd round pick. I mean, I don't even know that Jerry Jones would have. I mean, that's like the Amari Cooper. You literally gave him away.
Yeah. That would have been sweet, getting Jalen Ramsey for a 3rd round pick. We didn't even know he was available for a 3rd round pick.
But the thing again,
try.
But here's the thing that still concerns me is that Catboy, who's always talking about we believe in our guys, they haven't signed any of our guys.
He believes in Noah Brown.
Well, they didn't do it last year either. So I want to know what this big move is going to be. Then that Jerry then later couched and said, well, not necessarily big. I honestly think they're going to bring in Bobby Wagner. I honestly do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're going to do on the offensive side of the ball. They need to get a receiver. So at this point, there's not many options. I'm out on Cooks, but I don't think they are.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Lady Libra, what's up?
And I think they're waiting to pull more triggers and do more restructures. Look, and you mentioned it the other day, Mark, and people are going to hate this, but I don't think it's a bad deal.
Gallup?
You might as well just restructure Gallup. You'll free up almost $8 million just doing that. He's super young. He's not a bad receiver. He wasn't 100% healthy. He's not going nowhere. So why not stretch it out?
No, you might as well go ahead on and do that.
Right.
Well,
so that's 8 there.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten into
You still haven't done anything with Zeke or Tyron.
or the Jordan Lewis. There's plenty of money. We just got to. We need to find out who we're bringing back. Then we could go and take our money and go play in the pool. Right now, how can we play when we don't know? We don't know. Me and you, everybody here don't know. We're hearing that they offered Leighton Vander Esch.
People playing the count.
Well, okay, but they offered Javon Curse $1 million last year too.
Yeah, I know.
And
That's what
they
I'm saying.
supposedly, you know, depending on who you believe, that they offered a good offer to Dalton Schultz.
Oh, that's it. Dalton Schultz. You got it. That's the one.
Yeah.
Dalton.
And Donovan Wilson, basically, they're going to let, you know, it seems like that one's not going to happen. And I'm just kind of like, he was one of the better safeties in football, actually, last year, 101 tackles. And I keep having, you know, I walked past the bathroom because I've got the little mini Jobu jerseys. And, you know, there was the Jeff Heath one that's autographed. And it seems like we forgot what it was like before we actually had really good safeties. You know? Remember how we were literally talking about trading, you know, a number one and Zach Martin for Jamal Adams, how we were trying to get Earl Thomas and things. You know, we were doing everything possible to try and get a safety, and now we have one, and it's like, safety, smafety. We don't need a safety.
I think Wagner is going to be here. I don't know who else is going to offer him a contract. I think it makes too much sense. We'll bring Wagner in for a little cheaper than
Seattle has called him. Miami
you know,
is
game time, Brian. I said it.
Denver has also been interested, as well as Miami.
Mm-hmm.
You got me on a question real quick.
Miami's out on that now, you would think.
You know, I said it. I said, man, look, the football gods is trying to bless you a second time with with the actor Robert Wagner, aka Bobby Wagner. They're trying to give you this blessing. They tried to give it to you last year. They're giving you a second chance. You need to go ahead on and take this blessing and run with it.
Yeah, just
You
gotta
ain't
make
gonna see
it
no more.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure it's not like a bottom of the market. You know, you need to. You know, you got to show a little respect to some of these guys. You just can't expect to land these guys
because we them boys.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask the question real quick?
Yeah.
All right. Considering Adam Thielen became a free agent like last Thursday or Friday or whatever, would you guys rather have him and you don't have to give up any draft compensation, or would you rather get rid of or go get Hopkins for a second or a third?
Hopkins.
You know what? I wouldn't mind Adam Thielen if
I wouldn't mind Thielen either. Thielen is good, y'all.
70 receptions last year.
He still got some gas in the tank, man.
Not coming off injury.
We can easily use him at the slot.
Well, in the case of so this was proposed by KJ Drummond. He said, "How about a third and Dorrance Armstrong?" And I was like,
"No,
Dorrance Armstrong." I'm like, Dorrance Armstrong had 8.5 sacks last year,
absolutely not.
And it's like, that
would be crazy.
No,
that's crazy.
I was like, if I'm giving up Dorrance Armstrong, it better be like maybe straight up. But I'm not even sure I would do that.
No.
I would say if you can get him for a third, you know, with Ramsey going that cheap, if you can get him for a third, hey, do it. And even a second, because we suck at seconds.
I like now how one of our better, cheaper defensive ends is all of a sudden
a guy that we want to get rid of.
Yeah. Thank you. No, thank you.
Let's put it this way. D-Law is a $26 million cap hit who had, 6 sacks last year? Okay. Dorrance Armstrong is $7.5 million, has 8.5. Are you kidding me?
That's the way to look at it, Mark.
Okay. No.
I'm just saying. You know,
we got to start looking at the end in the draft too.
Yeah,
because he's not going to be here for after this year, possibly. So.
Probably, but here's what I'd actually before you start. I'm hoping Sam Williams becomes somebody, and you've got Dorrance Armstrong, and you got D-Law for this year. I would actually still look at defensive tackles, man. I'm telling you, if the Cowboys
not in round one, but
not round one, not unless we got Aaron. Not unless you got Aaron Donald that happens to fall to you. But here's the thing for me is if you get a great defensive front that can stop the run, what's the thing that always kills us in the playoffs?
The run.
We can't stop the damn run. So you get Bobby Wagner, who's great at stopping the run. He's a great run support. That would be an upgrade over Leighton Vander Esch. I'd be happy. But you pair him up with a big defensive tackle, that immovable force, and put Bobby Wagner there, then you don't necessarily need a Jalen Ramsey because your defense is going to allow now Micah Parsons and a Sam Williams or a Dorrance Armstrong to start getting to the quarterback. That's what we need. And that's a cheaper fix than it is to say, get Jalen Ramsey.
Scary thing is, as of now, and you got to count the guys that aren't signed.
Hankins isn't signed.
Not ours. That's kind of scary. We have a lot of holes as of right now. I know we could, until we start to, get some of the depth. It's hard to say what we need in the draft because that's going to dictate.
Right now, we ain't got nobody.
We ain't got squat. So it's like, you got to pick your poison. I just don't want to reach for a corner, maybe the 5th or 6th corner at 26, when we could get, arguably the top 3 D end, or I know nobody wants to draft tight end in round 1, but if certain people are there, they're deserving of it, or drop down. I just don't want to get locked into a position, and I think that's what this team does. So,
all right, so let's go through all the guys that aren't signed right now, okay, that you're going to have to replace one way or the other. Dalton Schultz, of course, Cooper Rush, Jason Peters. Now, I mean, the first 3, we know they're out the door. I don't think Jason Peters is coming back. Connor McGovern, who was a starter for you at guard. I'm not saying he's great. I would love to have an upgrade, but that's somebody you have to look at and say, who's going to replace him?
Well, I think we know the answer to that, Mark.
What's that?
It's going to be Tyler Smith, and I think that a Tyron is coming back. He's already counting under the cap now, so he's going to take a slight
pay cut.
Yeah, and he's going to play left tackle. He's going to play left tackle.
His contract has a voidable year. They could basically dump half of his salary in there and drop it.
This is going to be his swan song, and then he's going to retire. So he's going to start at left tackle.
He'll break down and he'll miss at least half of the season again.
But we have a lot of flex there. We got Matt Let's-Go, who's coming back. Okay. We have bodies.
I'm just saying. Oh, we always have bodies. That's the problem. We had bodies at wide receivers.
Matt Let's-Go was drafted last year and was having a pretty darn good camp. They were very high on him. And he plays tackle. Not necessarily left, not necessarily right.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, all I'm saying is you do that, you let McGovern go. Mm-hmm. And then that allows we're gonna take a guard in this draft. So it doesn't mean it's going to be round 1. It just opens up, some things. If we go out and get a receiver, Mark, then we're not locked into having to take the 4th or 5th best receiver at 26.
I agree with that. And their philosophy is always trying to get the best prospect.
Now we're looking at getting the best prospect. And if it's a tight end, or if it's a D end out of Army, or if it's a D lineman, you can't see who slides because he's only 6 foot, but he's a beast. Whatever. We take him.
You know what, though? DeCanty from Pittsburgh, even though he's only 6 foot, he's pretty flexible and he has speed. And that guy racked up a lot of sacks in the middle. And we haven't had a guy that's that good as a nose guard in a very long time. Because if we have him in the middle, people are going to try and double team him.
Yeah,
and then you got Micah Parsons on the other side and Sam Williams. Those guys are going to.
I'm seeing Bijan Robinson slipping because people realize that there's a lot of backs, and I've told Mark if he's there at 26, he's far and away the best player on the board. I want to be in the position to attack that player, whoever it is.
Okay, Alma Williams. If I was a receiver, I'd be hesitant to go to the Cowboys because they threw away 2, Amari Cooper and Wilson. This is a position we don't need to be worried about. Well, I can agree with you on that one. All right, going back down the list a little further, T.Y. Hilton, who was arguably our second best wide receiver, even though he came in late, and Noah Brown. So right now, none of them are re-signed on this roster and will have to be replaced. On defense, Donovan Wilson, who, of course, he is this year's punter that he's deemed going to be too expensive. Leighton Vander Esch, who we saw how important it was when he was injured. Anthony Brown, Dante Fowler. Fowler still actually played decent for us. Anthony Barr and Jonathan Haskins, Carlos Watkins, and C.J. Goodwin. To me, what would make sense, since you're looking at 2 linebackers right there between Anthony Barr and Leighton Vander Esch, getting Bobby Wagner would make sense because that would be an upgrade over both of those guys.
Yeah,
and the guy stays healthy.
You could, yeah, exactly. And, that's what I'm saying. If we can get these, I mean, like a Bobby Wagner, don't get, and we're going to, if they start signing people, don't get caught up in the number. It's going to look bigger if we do sign them than what it actually is. We heard how big his contract last year was, and he played for 1 year. It's all about
$2.5 million for last year.
Yeah,
they did take
$13 million, right, total, I think.
With this year, with the dead money, it was $15 million for 2 years. They could have kept him this year and had it been $15 million for the 2 years.
Yeah, we have an opportunity to get a couple guys. One via free agency, another one. I mean, I don't know who else who's out there. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing in a Jarvis Landry. I kind of think we need speed on the outside, but you know what I mean. It's that's the thing. That's why I liked Hopkins, but I don't know that they're going to want to trade anything.
Well,
honestly.
the more I forgot that he sat out 6 games last year. So he only played.
Hopkins?
Yeah, he only
PEDs.
Yeah,
PEDs.
he only played in 9 games last year, but he still had 771 yards. So he averaged, I want to say, 7.1 catches per game, about 10.8 yards per reception, 79 yards a game. I mean, that if we had that kind of production with.
That was the Super Bowl right there for us.
I mean, that's
how
he literally doubled what Michael Gallup had in yards.
He's the perfect receiver for Dak, man. Big target.
Put him in the slot.
Wide catch radius. Doesn't have to be a perfect ball. I'm not saying that.
You know what I'm going to say real quick, y'all?
What's that?
I don't think Jerry Jones is going to do either of these options when it comes to receiver because I think
Me neither.
He's trying so hard to make Dak Prescott look so bad. He's trying so hard to make Dak Prescott look so bad, y'all. And that's concerning me.
I don't know that he's trying to make anybody look bad. I think that his actions are doing it. So if that's what you mean, yeah, his actions are basically, they're trying to get too cute. They're trying to get too cute.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, and when Jerry comes out and says, well, I don't want to.
When you pay a quarterback, okay, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. Because
I was going to talk about going all in. It's like nobody's asking you to go and
all in. But don't go through and act like you've been giving Dak. I mean, because here's the problem. People don't understand how the cap works, okay? So if you looked at Bobby Wagner, Von Miller, and Zadarius Smith, their cap numbers last year were the same as what we paid for just Dalton Schultz. And had you put those 3 players on this team, I think we would have been a lot better team. Now, that's not to say that their numbers weren't going to grow, exponentially the next year, but you can do these things. As far as Dak goes, throughout his career being here as the Cowboys quarterback, you can take his cap number. He's averaged $12 million for every year that he's been here, less than 10% of your cap. And even with the 3 years that he's had this new contract, his cap number is only averaging $21 million. That's actually a bargain. The way they did that contract with the voidable years, dropping his cap number to $26 million, that's dirt cheap. It was 19 last year, and it was 17 the year before. So the money's going out. It ain't all going to the quarterback. He's not the reason that you're not affording other players. It's getting rid of Amari Cooper and taking dead money. It's paying Jalen Smiths and things like that. It's paying Zeke Elliott. I don't know why people don't talk about how much money we paid Zeke Elliott, a running back, and are still talking about trying to redo his contract. Ain't nobody spending big money on running backs and winning Super Bowls.
Mark, I can definitely agree with you with that. I think that we have discussed, Zeke Elliott's contract, and I think we all agree that he either has to take a pay cut or it's time to part ways. And, I love Zeke. Zeke is my guy. But he's just not the same guy that got that big deal. You know what I'm saying? He's just not the same guy. He's broken down like every other running backs do besides Adrian Peterson.
The messenger, that's how you end up in cap hell, moving money around like that. The reality is there really is no cap hell anymore. Okay,
No.
understand.
More than anyone.
Hold it. I want people to understand that the Saints were like $58 million in the cap, in the negative, but they just signed Derek Carr. Okay, the Rams last year were about in the same spot we were as money was, but they went out and they signed all kinds of players. Now, is it sustainable? No. But if you look and say, we've got an opportunity to go in and try and win one of these things because we're close, then you need to do that. You can't just constantly say, well, we're never going to get in Cap L. Well, we're never going to get a Super Bowl. How about that then?
So basically, Mark, you're saying that like we're tiptoeing our feet in the water, but we're not going all in, pretty much.
We ain't even tiptoeing in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
Where are we tiptoeing?
I'm asking you. Is that what you are saying?
We're not even
Not getting
tiptoeing.
nowhere near.
Okay, here's the biggest moves the Cowboys have made since 2010. Brandon Carr, right? Greg Hardy, and a trade for Amari Cooper.
Which was a great trade until they
decided, nah, we don't like him. I mean, unless you want to talk about the trade with the Eagles, where we moved up to get Biotish. That's one of the bigger moves that they've done. They don't make any moves. Jimmy Johnson, that interview with him. He's like, you have to understand, it wasn't just the Herschel Walker trade. We brought in 51 different players between trades and stuff. They were constantly making moves. I mean, they brought in Deion Sanders. They went out and they got Charles Haley. We don't do any of those things any longer to try and bring in extra talent. And when have you seen a team now that is winning Super Bowls that has not made some big free agent moves? Take a look at the difference between Tua getting Tyreek Hill. Take a look at Josh Allen getting Stephon Diggs. Having players to go with your quarterback makes all the difference in the world. You can't think you can just put bums out there and that the quarterback is going to be great. I can't see where Jerry Jones has said, we surrounded Dak with a lot of talent. I'm trying to see what great players we've had other than Amari Cooper.
And CeeDee Lamb also.
Well, that's drafting. I mean, that's different than we went out and got somebody else. But even just getting CeeDee Lamb. So, okay, so you got Amari and CD. What else have you gotten in there? All the offensive line was before Dak got here. And Tyron Smith has been breaking down ever since Dak got here. Travis Frederick's gone. The offensive line has actually been in flux since Travis Frederick and Doug Free retired.
Yeah, that's true.
We had, we added Zeke with them, but your receivers are, Bryce Butler, Noah Brown, Alan Hearns. These aren't exactly cream of the crops here. And for tight end, we had, Dalton Schultz, and we had Rico Gathers and stuff. I mean, it wasn't like you. And then we brought back an old ass Jason Witten, who had Raider stank on him. You didn't really surround him with a lot of great talent. Not like other teams are doing. So I hope that, Jalen Ramsey wasn't really the guy they want, but they do have some guys up on here. Here we have some targets for free agency to try and help us get up over the hump. But again, we got all these holes here. All these guys are free agents. Now, we do know they like to let people test the market and then re-sign them.
Hey, Mark, to support your claim that you just said, is that this is like proof in the pudding is in the proof, right? The Philadelphia Eagles, as opposed to giving away a number one receiver like we did, they went and got one, and they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So maybe if we didn't get rid of our number one receiver and Amari Cooper, and actually went and got maybe a third receiver or something, maybe that would have been us in that Super Bowl, But
okay, I tell you what.
That's a good way to look at it.
Had they just brought back Cedric Wilson and we had the numbers that he had with him being a starter, we would have been a night and day better. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They literally were like, we got Amari Cooper and we'll get Michael Gallup back.
It's
He'll be
kinda-
fine off an injury, and the rest of the guys, Jalen Tolbert will be fine. We can just put a rookie out there, and he's ready to go ahead and be a star.
Yeah, it's and also kind of like they put Noah Brown, Jalen Tolbert, and James Washington in like a little group. Said, hey, we can get our third receiver out of here, and maybe get them to a second receiver. We'll be all
Didn't
right.
work,
And
and Michael Gallup gets back to being where he was.
Yeah,
none of those things
him
happened.
to be better than he was, and Gallup is just not ready. He wasn't ready this season.
He wasn't ready.
He wasn't ready
at all.
The Joneses rushed him. They rushed him.
Yep.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, Asha Robinson, how you doing?
They should have gave Jalen Tolbert a lot more opportunities to play rather than just have him on the bench. He's not doing anybody any good sitting on the bench. Play the guy.
Come on.
I hear
But
you,
if you
but
can't, when you can't line up on side
in practice, and that they do a lot of his stuff getting ready for games, he just wasn't on the same page. He was zigging when he was supposed to be zagging. He was overwhelmed, and just like he was as a freshman in college, where it was basically he had like 6 catches. So I expect a lot bigger from him, but we can't count on it. We need to do another move, but he's going to be on the team, so it's a very big year for him.
Yep.
But I'm reading now. The price keeps going up, people. Odell Beckham in talks with several teams.
Yeah, he's talking. He's going crazy. I think you can forget that one.
He wants $20 million.
That's what I'm saying. I ask you, what do you want to pay him, or go out and get a Hopkins? Where you may have to give up a 3, possibly. I think you could get Hopkins for a 3 and maybe something later, a 6, one of our comp picks.
I would take Hopkins over mental stability, because Odell's got some baggage with him. Okay,
now he looks like he's been.
He looks like he's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's like David Boston in Arizona.
Jr., though, is that once he gets signed,
Beckham with a 20-foot pole.
At least Hopkins was uninjured last year. Okay, he's not recovering from an ACL back to back.
Because
I wouldn't touch Beckham with a 20-foot pole. Although Jerry Jones might, though. Jerry Jones is crazy like that, y'all.
You know why?
he is, but you know what?
He can get him
circus
without giving up anything. That's why.
And he likes the circus.
But then again, also right now,
Georgia failed too.
With Flynn, you're not giving up anything either, and probably could pay him less for maybe about the same, same amount of yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
Do not let Odell Beckham Jr. Let him go. I don't care if he goes to the Eagles, the Giants, the Commanders. We'll be ready for him if he does.
But the thing is about Odell Beckham Jr., though, it's like whoever signs him, what's the possibility of him not being available? Say, like he gets hurt, like in the preseason or in camp or something like that, and he's going to be missing a lot of time.
I would love to see our team actually be creative and maybe take a player that we're not going to bring back and try and do a sign and trade for like another player. Just player for player with very little compensation. I think I do think there is a chance that we're going to actually go out and make a trade, because just remember, they love their comp pick. So if we go out and spend the $20 million on Odell Beckham, that's going to cancel, Dalton Schultz going somewhere and getting paid. So I don't think they're paying big money like that in free agency. I think we have a better chance of making a trade, but
okay,
I don't know.
Let's put it
all BS.
Let's put it this way, Brian. Would you rather get Odell Beckham at $20 million or get Bobby Wagner, bring back Donovan Wilson, and get another free agent?
I'll take the latter.
Because that's basically what we're talking about.
I agree, Brian.
Yeah. I would do all of that. Let Odell go, man. And I would go into the draft and maybe make a move for a Hopkins if he's not dealt yet, or something like that, or reach out to Diggs. See how the draft board is going, and if everybody's dropping, then you know what I mean, off our board, make a move.
I got a question. Would you guys agree with Odell for $12 million a season?
Yes.
12 to 13.
Yeah, but he ain't going to go for that. So why are we talking about that? Now, although you can ask for anything you want. I don't know if anybody's I don't know if anybody's going to pay him $20 million, but
I don't think so.
I don't think the Cowboys are getting a bidding war with him.
I think that Odell's number is going to have to slowly come down. You know, he's asking for more than he's really willing to accept.
I don't blame Odell either.
I don't blame him at all. That's business.
You know what I mean? I don't blame him, but there's too many teams with money with this new salary cap to think that he's going to come and he give us a hometown discount because he wants to play at home. At the end of the day,
he has
a short window left to play ball and make money. So he going to do it. You know him. He has a big lifestyle too. He's calmed down a lot, but I don't blame him. So I'm not banking Odell Beckham. If we overspend for Odell Beckham,
you're going to be hurting someplace else.
I'm going to be upset. Not to say I wouldn't take him, but I'm not getting into a bidding war. I'm not.
And see, most people fail to realize that $20 million, that's a negotiation tactic. That's just a starting number.
Especially if you have multiple teams involved. Good luck. You know, it just comes down to you'll know where he goes if he wants to win or not. That's what you're hearing. Oh, I want to win. Well, sometimes making money and winning are two different things, and they don't always end up in the same place. You know. So we'll see.
Right, and that's the reason why I tell everybody. I'd be like, man, look, I don't want players with sexy names. I want players, man. I want players who want to win. I want players who are hungry. I'm not with all of this sexy name dump. You saw what happened. You saw what happened when we tried to get these sexy players a while back, and it backfired on us.
Here's an interesting.
I'd rather have a guy like a Michael Thomas. He's got a lot to prove.
I don't want sexy names.
Here's an interesting thing that happened about 53 minutes ago. Devarius Slay to Adam Thielen to if you want to come on over here to Philly, come on over to Philly. Come on over here. We're winning. So that doesn't sound like somebody who's leaving town.
Nobody's trading for him.
No. Well, maybe so. But the fact that he's, able to.
He's unreleasable, too.
Probably so, too. But he's definitely doesn't sound like he's going anywhere if he's trying to convince other players to come here. There.
Look. I just can't wait till they sign their quarterback, man. That's going to be fun.
Well, they have $54 million in dead money. And they have a lot of free agents that they're going to have to let go. They can't sign everybody.
Right.
Talk about salary cap hell. Die, Eagles die.
Various Slay says, I want to finish my career with the Eagles. So does that mean you're going to redo your contract to do that?
Who is that?
The Various Slay. Big play made on Slay, wants to finish his career off there. Crazy Corvette, D-Pack 720. Brandon Cooks is hungry and consistent. Eagles for life. Cowboys suck. Eagles for life. I got something for you.
Fuck them birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now we shoot those birds out of the sky. Stupid dumbasses managed to give up a 3rd and 30 to my sexy arm. Pathetic defense and team. No wonder I own those piece of shit frauds every damn year. Don't get me started on the fans. You boo me while I earned a respected award. Losing the Super Bowl was just karma for you fuckheads. I can't wait to drop 100 on your heads next season while being the daddy of the NFC East again.
There you go, Eagle fans. Cry, Eagles, cry.
No, I don't sound like that.
Cry, Eagles, cry. How you doing today, Sir Robinson?
I'm okay.
Okay. What's going on with your Giants?
They just re-signed Sterling Shepard.
Well, are you happy with getting back Danny Dimes and Barkley?
Yeah, it's a good deal. Yeah, you just got to give him some weapons.
So I'm curious if anybody's saying that Danny Dimes is overpaid. 15 TDs a year?
That's good. I'm okay with it.
Right now,
I'll say this: Daniel Jones is better than average quarterback, but considering a better than average quarterback is paid $50 million, like that's a lot. I think.
In that case, Jalen Hurts gonna get like $50 million.
Yeah, looking at Darius Slay just real quick. If they cut him now, it'll be a $22.5 million dead hit and about 3.7 mil against the cap. That's the best way to do it. If they wait and do a post June, it would be 17.5 million against the cap and a $6 million dead cap. So they have to cut him before June 1. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I found it.
Oh, not a problem.
Yeah. But my opinion on Daniel Jones is, quarterbacks, that's what happens, man. You wait, you try and sign a guy early, and then the market explodes, and then you end up paying a mediocre, average to slightly above. I would say average. That's what happens. But that's why I said about 5 minutes ago, I can't wait until the Hurts contract, because you see what's going on. You see what he's going to get over 50 mil. And then let's see all the people in the chat running their mouth about this and that. All of a sudden it becomes hard. All your decisions becomes hard because you got to look 2 and 3 years ahead. You have to. So good luck. Well, now you're swimming in the deep end, big boys.
True.
You didn't win it. So.
And you got a tougher schedule this year too.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's not that easy.
You know what, y'all? I think Jalen Hurts is purposely being patient because you haven't heard him say much about his contract. He
knows he's getting paid.
Oh, his best play. You know what his best play is? Is actually to wait. Let the dust clear. Yeah. Let Lamar get whatever happened. Let
he wants even more.
Let all the other guys, Cincinnati's quarterback get paid. Let Justin Herbert get paid. Yeah, wait, because
he's going for more.
Think about all the quarterbacks that have been number one paid. From Jimmy Garoppolo and Derek Carr and Kirk Cousins. All these guys, Matty Ice. You want to be the last one in line getting paid because if Daniel Jones is getting $40 million, Daniel Jones, I just took my team to the Super Bowl. You got to give me 12, 14 million more than that guy. You know that.
That's why he's being patient about it.
To address, because I see Eagle fans that are in here that are constantly talking about Dak Prescott's interceptions and stuff. I had, Steve shared this with me. These are seasons where the amount of interceptions we've had in Cowboys history, okay? Worst seasons. Steve Pelleur, 17. Danny White, 17. Drew Bledsoe, 17. Don Meredith, 18. Troy Aikman, 18. And another year with 18. Steve Pelleur, another year with 19. Tony Romo had 2 years with 19 interceptions. Vinny Testaverde had 20. Craig Morton had 21. Quincy Carter had 21. Danny White with another 23. And a Danny White with 25. Interceptions do happen.
Hey, Mark, Matthew Stafford got the same amount as Danny?
And more pick sixes. He had 6 pick sixes last year. Now, it wasn't a full season, so we do have to understand that Dak only played less games, but still.
Let's talk about touchdown passes. How many of those quarterbacks have thrown for 37 touchdowns and 10 INTs just the year before?
Yeah.
Everybody forgets, that Dak threw 37 touchdowns and he had 10 INTs. He threw for almost 4,500 yards, and that was the year before this past year. Are you kidding me? Jalen Hurts was in MVP consideration for having 22 passing touchdowns. I know he runs the ball, but that's not going to prolong your career in this league. That's just not. You better learn to throw more touchdown passes.
The thing about Jalen Hurts being a running quarterback, eventually running quarterbacks eventually get hurt, and after that, they just go downhill.
And
that's
never
the same after that.
That may be the part of the reason why Lamar Jackson is, people are worried about the hits that he's taken and signing him to a fully guaranteed contract. That and the
But
NFL
sometimes,
does not
too.
want to open up those floodgates. They've already done that now with 2 quarterbacks. And they don't, if Lamar Jackson gets, because people forget, Kirk Cousins got a fully guaranteed contract with Minnesota, that first one he got.
Mm-hmm.
And so now all of a sudden, if Lamar gets one, if you're Dak, you're kicking back and I'm not in too big a hurry to try and get that extension. The Cowboys should be the one that should be hurrying up to get that extension done before everybody else does. Because
I think the important thing going forward is you can't look, well, I want to win the division. I mean, I want to win the conference. I want to go to the Super Bowl. You need a quarterback who's going to play well within the division. You tell me a better quarterback than Dak Prescott against his own division.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He owns the division. The Eagles can say all they want. He put up a 40 burger towards the end of the year against you guys.
His last 3 games against the Eagles have been 40 plus. He's averaged 42 points.
8-3 against the Eagles, and and that's a vaunted team supposedly. So you can't beat them, so you can't talk shit on them. If I can't beat a team, I ain't talking shit on that team. I don't care how good or bad they are. If I can't beat them, and you can't beat Dak Prescott, the numbers say it. So give me the guy who could win a division every year.
Amen.
Or win 12 games.
Back to back.
So,
well, I'm sitting here seeing, of course, the annual Mike McCarthy is on the hot seat. The Cowboys making back-to-back play. Well, I'm just saying, is Mike McCarthy on the hot seat? That if the Cowboys fail, after 2 12-win seasons.
Oh, okay. So if he has another 12-win season and loses in the championship game, it's going to be his fault.
I'll say this real quick.
Go ahead.
Mike McCarthy, if he is on the hot seat, only because Jerry Jones wants Dan Quinn as head coach. That's the only thing you can think of, really. Because taking a team to the playoffs twice, with 12-win seasons, you can't beat that. Besides if you win the whole
with
thing,
no receivers.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, excuse me, with one receiver.
Yeah, with no receivers. With one receiver.
Mark.
With one receiver.
What was the last coach to win back-to-back 12-win seasons with the Cowboys?
Jimmy Johnson.
Okay, so I think he's doing a decent job, especially after winning the division and coming back the next year and winning 12, which is why I put the ball back in the Eagles' court. You won the division. Now you're going to have a first-place schedule. You're going to experience what Dallas experienced last year. Are you going to win 12? Well, the way it looks right now, you're going to lose a lot of people.
Yep.
So good luck. I'm not saying you're not, but it ain't going to be easy. And let's see you lose your starting quarterback for 5 games. Are you still going to win 12? You know what I mean? So
Okay.
I think that, what?
No, I'm just looking at the Eagles' schedule for next year.
It's not overly hard, but that's now. Let's look at it now.
Now, I mean, you've got the 49ers. You've got Buffalo. Rams are fire sale. They're done. You got Miami, which is becoming a juggernaut.
Miami is a juggernaut.
You got Minnesota again. They're kind of fire selling. Seattle was decent. They were a playoff team. New England, you got the Jets that could have Aaron Rodgers. Tampa Bay, and you got Kansas City. And, of course, you got the NFC East, which is definitely better than it was.
Yeah. What's up, Thomas?
Let's put it this way. They'll be facing better quarterbacks this year
Thomas.
than they did last year.
Hey, Aisha. Yeah, we got to play Aaron Rodgers this year, unfortunately.
He might be going to the Jets.
I know we play the Jets this year.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, we play the AFC East this year. And I still believe we're playing Buffalo in London. I do.
Yeah, I agree.
So
Definitely.
is Dak Wilson going to be like a backup, or are they going to trade him?
He's gonna sit behind him nobody's gonna trade for him. The best thing for him is to sit and learn for a couple of years.
Who is that?
He's going to sit and learn behind Aaron Rodgers on how to be a crybaby.
That's true. And it's just funny how it's come full circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
The whole Brett Favre thing, and Aaron getting mad, and Brett going to the Jets, and now the same thing's happening with Aaron Rodgers, man. It's funny.
It'd be kind of funny if Aaron Rodgers goes to the Vikings after that, after he leaves the
Yeah,
Jets.
right. Yeah. Hey, I wouldn't.
Nah, I don't think that's going to happen. But it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, getting him out of the NFC, this is where you look at it and say, well, allegedly the Rams are shopping Matthew Stafford. So you start looking at this and looking at the quarterbacks. You got Geno, who had a career year, in Seattle. Kyler Murray's not going to be ready to start the season. Brock Purdy, they say in 3 months he'll be able to start throwing, and it looks like Jimmy G may be going to the Raiders. So as you start looking around, they're talking about Baker Mayfield going to Tampa.
Yep, I saw
Okay,
that.
I still don't believe the hype on Derek Carr being a great quarterback. I mean, he had some incredible weapons this year and didn't do jack. You're going to have a rookie in Carolina. Who knows what Atlanta's going to have? So you're looking around and saying, are there really juggernaut teams with great quarterbacks? I mean, the Eagles should still be pretty good.
I don't understand why Eagles for Life's going to run his mouth like that. This is a Dallas channel.
Got timed out.
I know, but it's a Dallas channel, man. You can come in here and be fun, and everything's all well and good, but you don't tell us to shut our mouths, man. This is our
Eagles for Life.
Fuck them birds. Fly, Eagles, fly. Now we shoot those birds out of the sky. Stupid dumbasses managed to give up a 3rd and 30 to my sexy arm. Pathetic defense and team. No wonder I own those piece of shit frauds every damn year. Don't get me started on the fans. You boo me while I earned a respected award. Losing the Super Bowl was just karma for you fuckheads. I can't wait to drop 100 on your heads next season while being the daddy of the NFC East again.
There you go, Eagle fans. Okay.
Do your thing.
Go to 5,500 Shaq.
Well, I mean, you can stay here. Just don't be calling people names, man. That's our opinion. That's what it is.
Well, that's because the Eagles fans have no couth. Okay, let's be. They don't have any manners. Okay,
it's our opinion. That doesn't mean we're right. That sure as hell don't mean you're right. You were gonna win it all. What happened? You should have won it all. You should have won the damn game, and that's gonna hurt.
Yep.
Sorry.
You play
that's how
to
it works,
win the
man.
game.
You don't get the job done. You come up a little short.
Yeah, because
I said it until I was blue and black in the face. Philadelphia was set up to fail. I'm telling you.
It ain't going to be any easier this year.
Yeah,
it ain't going to be easier this year for them. It's going to be harder.
No, it's going to be harder.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, just, be careful. Be careful because bad karma.
I tried to tell my sister and she's a diehard Eagle fan. I tried to tell her. I said, Sherry, you were set up to fail. Your sister's an
Eagle fan, Thomas?
Huh?
Your sister's an Eagle fan?
Yeah, I said you were set up to fail. I tried to tell you that. I even tried to tell you that before kickoff, and you cussed me out. I said, okay.
She's a true Eagle fan then.
My sister's an Eagle fan too. My sister's an Eagle fan too. I'm like, oh God, she's an Eagle fan. I don't know how the hell that happened.
Damn. Well, it is what it is.
I'm a Washington fan, yo.
I just like how the bar gets moved. Now it's you've only won 4 playoff games in the last 30 years. Now, you didn't win a Super Bowl, so you can't compete Super Bowls. It's always like they're always moving the bar to fit their argument. Whatever, man. It is what it is. Yeah, I'm not happy they haven't won more Super Bowls, but we've been to 8. We won 5.
No, Alan Walker, no, we don't want to be you. Okay, no.
I'm a glass half empty kind of guy.
Not trying to be an Eagle.
We're not glass half empty kind of people sometimes, right? So it's not just good enough to get to the Super Bowl and lose. If you ask me, I wouldn't feel any better had the Cowboys made it to the Super Bowl and lost.
I would have thought a little better.
I think I would have been happier at least. Yeah, at least to say we would. Yeah, at this point.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying. I really do. You get that far, you better damn win it. You better not choke it up and puke like Donovan McNabb did, or drop them. You can't be puking in the puddle. So I get what he's saying, but for Yeah, exactly. But for my, sanity, I kind of want to just pile up some playoff wins for Dak. You get to a Super Bowl. I agree with him though. That would be tough to lose, but as long as you're, like we're not puking in a huddle, I'm good. You know,
And what y'all think about DJ Moore going to the Bears?
I think it's going to be weird. I think that the Claypool's in trouble. I don't know how he fits with Chase Claypool, but it was a good trade.
This is, if you ask me,
There are a lot
this
of picks
is
for him though.
this,
Carolina did.
this is a
Well, they're
version of
gonna
the
draft.
Walker
They're gonna
trade.
draft
It is.
a quarterback.
Carolina got fleece in this deal, man. This is a version of the
They're gonna draft a
That's a
quarterback.
lot. That's a lot to give up, man. Phew.
2 first-round draft choices, 2 2s, and a 5, and DJ Moore. Oh,
For
They
8
got
spots. For
Yeah.
8 spots.
Well,
It ain't like, is he like the second coming to, Aikman when he was taking one for Stroud? Because I'm hearing Stroud's going. So
I like Bryce
Okay,
Young
scared
more.
of Philly
I'm
But that's what
500.
I'm
scared of Philly
saying.
500.
Okay, scared of Philly 500.
But that's what I'm saying, Mr. Cowboy. When Aikman was taken, there was no debate. He was far and away the man. When
he was far away. It
when
was
Peyton Manning was taken, he was far and away the man.
hands down.
So now you're going to give up all this, like Thomas is saying, for a guy where it's really debatable. I mean, like, what are you looking for? Do you want Walker? I mean, Bryce Young, or do you want C.J. Stroud? You know what I mean? And the best one out of them all could be Anthony Richardson a few years from now. So it's like that wasn't the case, with these certain years with the quarterback. This year it is. That's a lot to give up, man. A lot. You better be right. That's going to set your franchise back.
Oh, I know exactly. Okay.
It probably would set him back because if whoever's going to get picked at
That
number
pick's
one,
got-
whether it's Stroud or Bryce Young, there's a track where Alabama quarterbacks and Ohio State quarterbacks don't exactly pan out in the NFL, and that would just set a team back. And then again, you have to go draft a quarterback again at number one. But you got to build a line to protect your guy to succeed. If you don't have that, he's not going to succeed. His confidence will just go down the toilet.
The only Alabama quarterbacks that succeed in the NFL were only 2, Ken Stabler and Joe Namath.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that,
I would kiss you.
Well, Joe
I
Namath
wanna
is still
kiss you.
debatable because he's the worst guy to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Bart Starr.
Hell of a guy to go out partying with, though.
Bart Starr.
yeah. What do you say, Mike?
Oh man, that's
I love the energy from the Eagle fans that are in here. I can't wait to see. Okay, because the thing people don't seem to recognize that people will have good years and bad years. Peyton Manning wasn't perfect every single year. He wasn't always great. Even Tom Brady's had some years that weren't quite as good as other ones. So you do, and a lot of that is also with the team around you, the coaching and things like that. The Eagles had the perfect storm this year of things going right. I've never seen a team, and I have to give credit to you guys, I've never seen a team have so many hits on players that they brought in. That's not normal. That's not normal to have.
And all the close games
every
you won.
one of them.
All the close games you won. How many games were they playing like crap? Losing
The Bears
in the second
even.
half.
The Colts. The Colts.
Can I say something
Arizona.
real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Can I say something real, y'all? I'm talking to the Eagles fans. I'm gonna look right in the camera as I say this, y'all. I hope and I pray that the NFL plays the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles within the first 2 weeks of the season, because I want to kick y'all asses. When we were 100%, y'all are 100% also. That's all I want to say real quick, because you Eagles fans are so disrespectful. I went to that game in Philly this year, right? And I'm not even gonna lie,
yeah.
it was through the whole game. The first
Shout out
three
to
quarters,
Edwin
it was all
Strickland.
right. But then in the fourth quarter, Eagles fans just come to me from trash, because the game was kind of this by then. But I just hope and I pray that we play you guys in the first 2 weeks of the season so we can kick y'all asses. And I don't know if it's in Philly or in Dallas. And that's all I say.
That's shots fired.
That's all I have to say. Shots fired, Let's go. Because you ain't got nothing for this guy right here. Just being honest.
Here's an interesting one right now, too, as we look at, we're all focused in on Bobby Wagner and free agency. I didn't realize how loaded this linebacker market is. Have you seen the list?
No, read it off.
Tremaine Edmonds, of course, Bobby Wagner, Levante David, David Long, Eric Kendrick, TJ Edwards, Jermaine Pratt, of course, Leighton Vander Esch is down there, Rashawn Evans, Quan Alexander, Devin Bush. There's more. There's some solid linebackers in there that, I may not be mad about Leighton Vander Esch coming back. I would still say I would like to see Bobby Wagner reunited because it feels so good.
Right.
Eagles for like you probably 5 and you lost the Super Bowl.
Y'all scared? I'm still trying to understand this thing where Eagles fans, because Philly 500 was all, y'all scared. What's scared? What does that even mean? Scared.
That was your best season in how long? And the best you could do was split with us. We scored 40 on you twice. We scored 40 on you once, and with 5 minutes to go, our backup almost beat you.
Yeah.
It was close.
Cooper Rush almost got you.
That is one thing we're not. Dak's record is 8-3 against you. So I'm going to win 8 out of 11 times against the Eagles. I am not scared. I wanted to play you in the playoffs. Everybody I know around here, Mark, they all tell me I just don't want to lose to the Cowboys. They were happy to play the Niners. And, when Brandon Graham hurt the quarterback, it was a wrap.
Yeah.
So, they did not want to play us. Make no mistake. They did not want to play the Cowboys because they knew that we matched up well. Whether we would have won without Pollard, I don't think so. I honestly don't. I don't.
Think we would have beat the Eagles.
But it would have been a better game.
I think we would have beat the Eagles, though. Because I think we would have figured out something with with somebody else, considering Tony Pollard's injury. I think we would have beat them. And Dak Prescott just knows how to beat the Eagles. He's 9-3 versus them.
Those are the facts.
Now, we did not beat San Francisco because we're not used to them. They're not a divisional foe. We would have beat the Eagles. And Jalen Hurts do not play well versus the Cowboys.
And at the very least, though, it would have been a close-ass game. Their potholes would have been tight.
Mm-hmm.
They would have been scared the whole game.
Jalen Hurts do not play well versus the Cowboys.
They could sit there and run their mouth about Dallas. He beat you. So how could you run your mouth against him? I guess it's... just like we ran our mouth against Jalen Hurts the year before when he shit the bed in Tampa and got embarrassed. So, shout out. Your team went out and made all the right moves. Now
they did.
You gotta we gave you credit. I don't know what else we could do. Now that everything's reset and you didn't win a Super Bowl, well, okay, let's roll now, man.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to the $50 million club for your quarterback.
There you go. And speaking of $50 million, $52 million in dead money. Damn. So, I guess we're going to get ready to roll up on out of here. Tomorrow's going to be the big day because legal tampering starts. Will we actually be a player this week will be the question. Anybody have any faith?
No.
I do.
It's all hope. I don't know. It's faith. It's some hoping, but I can't. Until it happens, then I'll be excited. I'm waiting for this big move, man. I'm waiting for the big move.
I'm on the fence here because, I've been going down to Waynesboro, every week to like Tuesday, Wednesday, and come back Thursday or so, spend 2 or 3 days. And it's like, do I want to be here in case something happens? Or should I just go about my business?
I don't know, man.
I got my shirt updated.
You got your what updated?
My shirt updated.
Okay.
Oh, you see it? See it hanging there?
Oh, there you go. Mr. Cowboy. Nice. My wife has gotten me a new, or she's just done a new shirt that's really cool. I was thinking, and actually it hit me that what we should do, I should tell her to get me a shirt that's made Cowboys for Life or Cowboys Life Sentence. Jail bars, because sometimes you feel like you're a prisoner here with Jerry Jones, man. Held hostage by Jerry. Anything? Nothing. No, I got nothing with that. Okay. All right. I'll try another one.
Fantastic.
All right. So let's get our final words in here before we roll on out. Anybody got any final comments?
I do.
Any prayers? Any hopes or dreams?
Yeah, my dream is that the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys play week 1 of the NFL season. That's my dream. I want to play those guys early. I don't want no excuses. I want starting quarterback versus starting quarterback, and that's all I'm asking for from the NFL. That's it.
Okay. Is that the new one? Huh? Why is it folded up in the bag? That's an order, isn't it? No, I thought she had done a new shirt. I thought. This one. Cowboys for Life?
Is that Michael?
No, it's my daughter Aisha. But is that one? Or is that the order? I mean, if you want to pull it out.
You got a daughter with the same name as me?
Yeah, well, it's not spelled the same way. It's got an H in it.
Huh?
Huh? What does it say on them? Oh, okay. Let me see it. It's blue and okay.
That number 1 seed.
Oh, I haven't seen that one before. I thought that
Hey,
was a new
Thomas,
shirt.
you going to any Cowboy
Oh,
games?
well, it's folded up.
Yes, I am. I'm going to the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, never
I'm
mind.
going down to Miami when they play the Dolphins.
Oh, that's
cool.
okay. I don't want to unfold them because she folds them so perfectly. But that's a new one, I think, isn't
Enjoy
it?
yourself.
I don't remember seeing a 2-color one like that. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Back to the final words, everybody here. How many of us have hope the Cowboys are going to do something to improve?
Yeah, a little bit, not a lot.
Hand up.
Hand up. Thomas Garrett has faith. Okay. Kirk
You
Cousins
say
is
go to the
obsessed
Cowboys game in
American.
Miami.
Okay, we've got people that are smoking crack in here. Kirk
he said
Cousins is better than
go
Dak.
to
He's a hell of a
Miami.
drug.
The only way to
Go to the one
improve.
in Miami.
The only way to
Put the
improve
crack
would be to
pipes
go
down.
out and get somebody that's out there. You know, I don't know, man.
I agree with you on that.
I don't know. It's going to
You
be.
know,
Crack pipes down.
They're going to have to prove it. I'm not getting excited like I was last year. I kept waiting and waiting and waiting. So I think this. I think that. Yeah. Do I think they're going to do something? Yeah, but we'll probably be disappointed.
He's still waiting on OBJ?
I pray not.
Not $20 million worth.
Not for $20 million. If he,
It may be one of them deals where it's $20 million, but
A lot of incentives.
yeah, it'll be like
Nah,
the guarantees will be way
incentive-based.
lower.
if it's like big time incentive based, then yeah. But
We picked up Wagner. Edwin's, as in we just picked him up. Or we're going to pick him up, Edward Strickland. If that's the case, then that would make me happy.
I would be extremely happy. We picked up Bobby Wagner.
Yay, let's get Wags.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like him, but you know,
Him back in Dan Quinn's system, I like that.
I mean, he's 32, right?
He's 32,
He's older,
but
but he
he's
knows
not
Dan
had
Quinn.
major injuries and things.
Yeah, I'm not saying that. I mean, I would welcome the move, but I'm not gonna get so excited. It would be nice, but that's not the big move. So that's why I'm gonna hold him to them words.
Have you? I'll tell you what, though. Have you noticed how the Cowboys, since Dak Prescott's contract, have put all their focus on the defense?
Yep.
Have you noticed? I mean, seriously, and I'm not saying that they're doing that intentionally, but it's kind of like, okay, Dak, you got the contract, so now you've got the offense. It's all on you. We're going to fix the defense because you see all the major moves and stuff are there.
Made that they allocated a lot of money to the offense. It just wasn't smartly allocated. We were, our backfield, how much we were paying Zeke until we, when we had Cooper, our offensive line, we always like to overpay our own.
Edwin.
So, but yeah, I agree.
I hope we pick him up. I hope.
Yeah, I want him, but that's not a big move.
Yeah,
I mean that's a good move. That's not the
hold on. Let's back up here for a second. For other teams, that's not a big move. For us, that would be a huge move because we don't make moves.
I mean, we were literally being laughed at last year. Every time there was a free agent, they would use us. They would use us and then go sign elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
And now you got Zadarius Smith, who was a big guy. He's trying to get his release already.
It's funny how, and the worst part is being a Cowboys YouTuber is trying to sell how great of a move that James Washington is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
The unicorn.
And the unicorn. Man, okay, here's what he can do for us and why this works. And so, you get me and Law and Vosh and, Game Time and stuff. We're doing the bidding and trying to sell the hope for Jerry Jones. We're as much to blame as he is. Am I wrong?
No, you're
right. We sell the hope. Okay.
Push the word, Mark. If you think about it, right?
I do something. I don't know what it is here from my mama's basement.
Yeah.
All right, so
he's been throwing a lot of what do you call it?
Shade.
He's been throwing a lot of clickbait out there. Nothing's happening. I haven't watched any of his videos, but he's throwing a lot of big names out there, but I don't see shit happening. So
he's always accusing everyone else of putting out clickbait.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Mark, what's happening with Michael Irvin?
With Michael Irvin? Well, they have the tape right now. And I've actually got a video that I'll upload because it's going through verbatim what Marriott literally said. And this is where, again, if they got it on tape, then Michael Irvin definitely should go down. But they literally said that Michael Irvin was caught by another employee that heard him basically leering at her as she's walking away, smack himself 3 times in the face and say, "Keep it together. I want to hit that." They literally in the court order, that's what they described. They made him sound like he was like a wolf, with the drool just falling off his fangs and everything else. That he was visibly intoxicated and his speech was slurred. But if his speech was slurred, then how did he get out the "keep it together"? Irvin, I want to hit that. I thought his speech was slurred.
Not only that, the conversation that I heard in the video, he was talking like I'm talking to you now, Mark.
But that's where, again, Marriott's putting out there. Now, they also said that the NFL had an investigator that came over and collaborated with Marriott and basically said, yeah, he's done something. So that's where you understand that Michael Irvin's people are wanting to get who he talked to from the NFL as the investigators, and probably will call them as witnesses to say, you made this determination, without even talking to Michael Irvin.
Yep. Sounds like a setup and a money grab to me.
Yeah. That's a setup.
And the way it was brought out, because, again, they said that he sought her out, like he ended up, ran up to her and kept touching her and everything else. And when you go through all this, it's like, all this happened in a minute?
The guy said that she came to him. He didn't go to her.
Right. And that's where I think Marriott doesn't want the tape to be out because it doesn't show what they've claimed has happened. And I would imagine that'll probably be out tomorrow or Tuesday.
The same day. If he had done anything wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That tape would have been out.
Right.
Well,
and see,
I think it all.
What's going to happen is Marriott's going to make the NFL look bad.
Really bad.
Like when it is.
But the NFL is going to be done with Marriott, though. I think.
Yeah, they ain't gonna have no other choice.
Marriott, they gonna lose a lot of money in sponsorship.
Money talks.
A lot of money.
Money talks.
It's business though, or the NFL is gonna say, hey, for us to still do business with you, you're gonna have to give us more money, because they'll get money at every stop they can to help with these salary caps. You know what I'm saying? Like in every single,
Okay. Let me say this hypothetically. Let's say that Michael Irvin did touch her on the arm and say, I'd like to go ahead and get with you and so on, right? Let's say hypothetically that happened. Okay. In comparison to the New England Patriots owner going to a massage parlor where sex trafficked females were.
Right.
Okay.
So it's still
how about Jerry Jones's lawsuit where he had unwanted contact with a woman, kissed her, and other things?
Right.
How come Michael Irvin allegedly propositioning a woman gets him canceled from his job? How about Dan Snyder literally having cheerleaders going into a foreign country, taking their passports and making them perform topless for ticket holders?
Right.
Anybody see a difference here?
What I've been saying all along.
I see what you're saying, Mark.
I think it comes down to if something like that really happened and you were unbelievably upset, and I would march down to the police station and file a
complaint. Yeah.
Right.
But you didn't do that. You said, how could I monetize this situation? Oh, we're going to do it civilly. And they're going to say, well, they're going to probably say it's you need to have less, what do you call it, evidence in order to get your money type. It was a money grab. They're hoping that Irvin would have paid her some money and, he forget about it.
But the whole thing snowballed downhill.
I think Marriott went down quickly.
Now, how long before Irvin sues NFL Network?
Well, that's the big thing.
Yeah, and ESPN. How long before
I think what happens is first you win this case.
And then
you win this case and say, okay, you let me go because of what they, told you and you believed it. So if they're guilty, you're just as guilty too.
Or
so
that's they hurry up and get them back in the fold.
That would be the other thing.
ESPN and the NFL Network are both culpable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are.
Everything is, not to get political, but everything is you're guilty. This whole cancel, you're done. You're not allowed to do anything before anything has come out.
Just depends on who you are.
The interesting thing is, I ended up getting. Okay, now again, as I've been trying to do the videos and stuff on there, I've been going through. Trying to be unbiased, okay? Of course, I met Michael Irvin. I've talked to him many times and things like that. So, of course, I'm going to root for him to be innocent. And I've been trying to put it out there with what's going on as far as the courts, as far as facts and stuff. And if you look at it from the way the court system has been going, everything is ruled against Marriott with the exception of it being removed from a Texas court to federal court. They've been ordered 3 times to turn over the tape. The judge on Friday, literally, they screwed any relationship that they had by not putting out the tape or putting out the tape the way they did. He literally said, basically, fuck around and find out. I'm not used to my orders being disobeyed. You turn over the tape by 5 o'clock today, unredacted with no restrictions to it. That literally put Marriott on blast. I mean, that lets you know they haven't been winning anything in this court. Now, so Marriott comes back through with these allegations to say, well, he's a sexual predator and that he literally said security's noticed me, so I'll find you later. I'll find you later.
She felt slighted. Okay, let me say this, men in the comment in the chat room. Even if he said something that she took offense to, let's keep it real. I told you guys, everything you say, that hurts your feelings. I tell my students, the world's going to do a heck of a lot more to you than that. Now, if she was that, first of all, she sought him out, okay?
Now, and this is where Marriott says differently that he sought her out. So that's where you're getting a difference.
yeah, let me give you my little take on this. And even if he did, okay, being a woman, all right, which none of you except Asia knows, people say stuff to us all the time. Look, if something to me is out of the way, I'll just keep walking. I don't start crying and boo-hooing, oh, my world is over. It's not that serious. You tell the person you're not about that and you walk away. There is no need for me to go and try to get someone else involved. I can take care of myself. So that's why I said, to me, this seemed like a money grab. And Michael Irvin turned the tables because they think, oh, he'll just, here's some money to make it go away. No. And I was on earlier. People are talking about what he did in his past. I don't want to, and I just commented, I don't want to hear what he did in the 90s or whenever. First of all, if you go into all of our pasts, we've all done things we are not proud of. I can't hold you something against you did 25 years ago. That doesn't make you guilty for something today.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that.
No, that's BS. That's bull crap.
Yes, BS. And if she, like I said, if she felt that, whatever he said, so what? Men say stuff all the time. You walk away. It's not that big a deal. It's not like he grabbed you and pulled you into his room. I mean, so what?
I think she saw an opportunity to get some financial compensation. I think so. But that's how some people think.
Gonna throw some money to her, and then Michael Irvin flipped the tables. And again,
they're trying to ruin his credibility.
Yeah, and like I said all along, they don't have anything on that man. Why is the judges that are involved begging and pleading? If they had something on him, we would have seen it the same day.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
So
and I'm gonna be honest though, because what's happening with Marriott, I think that's going to help him, of course, with NFL and ESPN. I think the NFL and ESPN is going to try to hurry up and just settle it out of court because they don't, NFL, they try to do anything they can to just sweep something
protect the shield.
Yep. Yeah. Protect the shield, and that's protect this shield right here. Shield right here.
They need to apologize. They treated him like a common criminal, and he's
big time.
If they'll do that to the playmaker, what the heck will they do to someone like you guys? And Mark, you know what? I was in Law's live chat yesterday, and I told him, you guys are content creators, and you're getting more and more subscribers. And so I told Law, he calls me auntie. I told Law, you be careful. And when you're out, because, I mean, you both out talking to people.
Yeah.
And someone may see an opportunity to sue you. I mean, it's sad. And it's sad because there are really women who are assaulted. But the ones who make these stories up to get paid, they hurt the actual women who are assaulted. And that's not right. So I told Law, I said, always have someone with you. And just, be careful. Because you don't know who's plotting and scheming. You don't know.
Yeah.
So that's my warning shot to you. Just watch it and have someone with you, so that if someone says, well, Mark said, I mean, and you already know, Mark, with your situation, you have someone who, if they would take you down. You don't know what people will do.
Well, there's in Washington State, podcaster was stalked by a person from Texas.
Yeah.
And was killed yesterday in her home. Her and her husband.
Really?
Absolutely sad.
Yeah.
Why?
This person stalked her, would send her like 20 messages a day, would got contacts of like her friends and things, and was doing that stuff. So yeah, there are some crazy people out there that are dangerous.
I just I just pulled it up.
Well,
Wow.
if you watch the story on it from the news, they'll give you actually a lot of hints and things that if your intuition is, something's not right here, follow it.
I have it. I pulled it up, Mark.
Yeah. All right. So good people. It is 6:30. Been here for an hour and a half. We are going to get ready. We need to get some rest because tomorrow's going to be a big day. Maybe not for the Cowboys, but it'll be a big day in free agency. I can hope and pray that the Cowboys do something.
Mark, you going back to work on that big house?
I'm supposed to go on Tuesday. I'm going to see how free agency starts. Go Tuesday and come back on Wednesday. Because I got a couple things I need to get done to keep this thing on schedule. So I may go down Tuesday and try and get a little bit done, and I'll come back Wednesday.
Hey, Mark, considering this, we know Jerry Jones is probably going to go on vacation because free agency is starting. So, we might be able to take a couple of days off because we know he ain't going to do nothing.
That's what I'm kind of thinking. Because in the past, it's like we ain't doing anything the first week.
No. But we got to keep our fingers crossed, keep our fingers crossed, and we'll see. Maybe we'll just go and get a number one receiver and run it all the way to the Super Bowl.
And a linebacker.
That's the only two
and a defensive
for.
And a defensive tackle.
We need a corner also. A corner opposite Diggs. That's all we need.
All right.
Those three.
All right. So for you Eagle fans out there,
you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it. That's the great thing about sports. You play to win. And I don't care if you don't have any wins. You go play to win. When you start telling me it doesn't matter,